Yeah, I think this is a really important episode. There's a lot of relationships out there who don't do this enough. I think it's extremely important, and it gets put on the back burner a lot, especially when you start a family. And I think we've done a decent job at it. I'm talking about working on each other, spending time with each other, and
on ourselves
and each other together as a couple.
Yes.
Both of them, I think. So take care of yourself, get that alone time, and also make sure you and your partner get that alone time, which is harder and harder to do the more your family grows, right?
Right, because you find yourself having less and less time to think about yourself and to think about the couple, because you're so focused on the kids, whether you have one or three or whatever. And the day-to-day stuff just gets into the way. Like who's working, and then you're stuck in traffic, gotta come home, cook dinner, bedtime. There's so much stuff that needs to be done. A bit of shopping, the grocery shopping. Like, I don't think we did groceries this week, and I'm like, when are we gonna find time to do it?
Because we're going through this kind of new reality now, and we've said this on a previous episode that Tina's gone back to work 3.5 years, almost 3.5 years at home, raising 2 young kids. Now you're going back to work. You're dropping the kids off at 7 a.m. in the morning at the daycare. You're coming home at what, 5 every day?
Closer to 5 every day, because there's a lot of traffic on the way home.
Tons of traffic every day. We get home. It's a rock and roll atmosphere here for
those 2 hours.
2.5. Ooh. By the time we get them down, and then when we try to have some time together, what happens? Well, we're both exhausted because I get up early. You get up early. You have these long, hard days, and we don't get that valuable couple time. It's hard.
But we try to.
We try.
But like at night, we try to watch an episode of a show together.
Yeah, we fell asleep.
And watch the hockey game. Yes, I'm guilty. I've been falling asleep lately.
But me too. I'm not even saying it's you. One of us falls asleep.
We try our best. On Friday and Saturday nights to stay awake.
But it's
like if
sad.
we're not munching on something, we will fall asleep in front of the couch, in front of the TV on the couch.
It's so sad. Like one of us, I think the other night, you fell asleep, and I think it was the Friday.
I fell asleep. It was before 8 o'clock on a Friday night.
And you get mad at yourself. I don't know if this happened to you. You take like a 45 minutes. You're sleeping a power nap on the couch. You get up. You're like, shit, this was my night. Friday night.
It was our night to be together.
Damn it. So then I managed to stay awake, and I watched something. I'm like, here's my perfect opportunity. Tina doesn't like this. I'm going to watch this. And then the next night, the opposite happened. I suggested this movie.
And I ended up watching the whole movie by myself without falling asleep.
I fell asleep within, I'd say, good 10 to 15 minutes in.
Yeah, but I think it's because I had a nap in the afternoon.
That's why.
I think I was able to stay up till, 10 o'clock? Wow, it's pretty pathetic on a Saturday night. But at least we had those 2 nights to kind of cuddle a bit on the couch together, even though one of us fell asleep.
I know. I just think it's so important and want to come on here and do an episode about it because we've had like one date night, just the 2 of us maybe in the past couple months. We've gone out with friends, we've seen friends and stuff like that. And we think that's so important to obviously try to make that time with you and your partner because we can't stress it enough. And it's funny because when we do end up talking about the kids half the time and looking at pictures of them and
when you and I are alone together.
Yeah. It's that's what happens.
But it's okay. But it's also a time that I appreciate so much because
that's true.
We can talk without distraction and actually focus on whatever subject we want to talk about or elaborate on. That normally we get interrupted by at home because the kids are either screaming or there's something that needs to be done or we get interrupted in one way or another. So I really love when we go out for dinner and just have that time to talk. But even like you and I were good sometimes taking a drive. Like when we don't have the kids, how many times do we do it more in the summer? Yeah. We're like, hey, babe, let's take a drive to like a part of the city that we haven't explored. Let's go look at the houses. Yeah. Let's go and find a new like restaurant or cafe. We're going to just pick up a coffee. And along the way, like we found ourselves like having some intense deep talk.
It's something about driving, eh? There's something about when you're in the car. Sometimes that's where you have your best conversations. When we've driven up north, we've driven to Tremblant a few times.
Toronto.
Pre-kids. We've had really good conversations.
Quebec City we've driven up to with kids. That's
actually a great recommendation for you and your partner.
Take a road trip.
Whether you don't have kids, whether you do have kids and you need to get away, just the 2 of you, that go somewhere. If you're driving, make it like at least an hour and a half, 2 hours and actually talk to each other or listen to great music that you both enjoy. We did that too. That. I know these are typical road trip things. Yeah.
We put it on every time we go on a longer ride.
Yeah.
Because it's all like our 90s.
It's fun. It's fun.
2000s music that we like. Yeah.
It's so damn important. And also too, now that we're on the subject of, make time for each other, but you also need to make time for yourself. And that's something, babe, I've been preaching for you because it's harder for the mom. You got so much to take care of and so much on your shoulders. And it was nice that you got together with your friends today. I was like, finally, go.
So I've been thinking a lot about my friends lately. And I said, man, we haven't all gotten together for
it's harder now,
a coffee or a meal together. Like everyone's got opposite schedules or it just doesn't work because of kids. So I just threw it out to them. I'm like, guys, how about a lunch on a Saturday or Sunday? Let's do a brunch lunch. And everyone loved the idea. So we got together today, just the four of us.
But it's hard now,
eh? Time.
It's hard now when you get into
your... we planned this like 3 weeks ago. Like imagine we had to plan that much ahead of time so that everyone could reserve the time and date and organize themselves like with their husbands or...
It's
to
funny.
Make sure that they're home with the kids or not busy themselves.
Don't you find it hilarious when you like get to your mid-30s? And it happened with our friends who we went for dinner with last week.
I think I booked it a month ahead.
We said a month and a half for like, hey, October 30th. And they're like, sure. Because that's what you have to do. The
reason for that one was also because I wanted to make reservations. It was a popular restaurant and I want to make sure we had the time that we wanted and the time and date we wanted. So it worked out. But when you think about it, we booked it a month ahead of time.
Yeah, but it's amazing how... valuable and you know what, baby, like first of all, you don't get to do that a lot, and when you are out like that, are you thinking of the kids? Are you worried at all?
Well, yeah, it's always on my mind that something could happen.
And I tell you, don't worry, I'm with the kids. It's all good.
I remember one time though.
Okay, but that was bad. That was a unique situation.
It was a unique situation when Sia started throwing up, and I literally, my friends and I were out for dinner. And thank God we were down the street. So all three of us hopped back into the car and drove back home to help you because I've never seen you that panicky. Even my friends, like they actually went to the pharmacy to try to go and get Pedialyte for Sia. And yes, you were scared. She was throwing up like crazy. It's only normal. I would have probably called you too to come home.
I know.
If I was in that situation.
Fine, but
it hasn't happened in 2 years.
Since then, but I want to know, and as a mom, because I'm sure there's moms listening, you leave your house.
Yeah, we leave and we're always worried.
Okay, you have 2 young kids.
Yeah.
Like what, you texted maybe halfway through, you said everything okay, I told you they're sleeping, it's all good. I
like to check in, and I'm sure a lot of moms check in, because all of us at the table, except for one who doesn't have children, the other 3 of us were checking in with our husbands.
I get it.
Like, okay, are the kids okay? Are they sleeping? We also got together at nap time, which was like...
It was purpose. It was on purpose,
planned to make it easier on the husbands too.
Do you worry that something, like, do you worry that okay, I'm home with the 2 kids, they've gone to sleep, but in your head, are you thinking, oh, what if they're not sleeping well? Is he going to be okay? I should go home maybe and help him. Or
yes, I do think about that.
You do, right?
I do, but I do know that if you really needed my help, it would be you would call me as a last resort almost. You would have to really be in a situation like you were with Sia 2 years ago to call me. You would never interrupt me.
No.
Having just knowing I'm just having lunch down the street with my friends. But the worry is always there. We always just want to make sure that whoever's taking care of our kids, whether it's our partner or our parents and we're out, we just like to check in.
I get it.
Are they sleeping? Did they eat? Did they poop? Are they okay? Are they driving you crazy? I would feel so guilty.
But why?
Let's say today, I went out, and for the 2 hours that I was out, that they were driving you up the walls.
But
I would feel so guilty being out and being like, okay, it's not fair for him to have to be dealing with the tantrums and having to punish them or whatever.
Oh wait, babe, hold that thought, because you shouldn't feel guilty, and I know it's hard for you.
Yeah, easier said than done.
No, but if the situation was reverse, I don't know if I is it because I'm a dad? Maybe it's like I wouldn't feel as like, oh my God, she has to take care of them for a few hours when I'm not here.
Yeah, because we do it all the time.
That's what I'm saying.
But I think you do feel bad in the morning that you're not here.
Yes,
and I have
do.
To get up and get myself
That's
and the
every
girls
damn
ready.
day.
Because it's every day, Monday to Friday. I got to get us all out the door by a certain time.
I know.
Yeah.
It's just funny because I'm capable, and I know it's not that.
You're
I know it's
capable.
not insulting towards me, because
No.
you could literally have the greatest husband on planet Earth, and the mom would still have the worry.
Yes.
Right? I think that's.
But I'm able to kind of let go a little bit.
Yeah, you're pretty good. I know there are people who are not like you.
Yeah, I don't keep my phone on the table.
I was going to ask you that next.
I did for maybe the first 15, 20 minutes, because that's usually, I looked at the time and I said, okay, the girls should be sleeping by now. I said, if not, then I'll get a text or something saying Sia's not sleeping or whatever. But then I put my phone away. I'm like, hey, I have no room on the table, first of all. I don't want to get my phone dirty or drop it. And then periodically I would check.
Okay.
Plus, I had it on ringer in case something happened. I would pick up. I'd hear it.
It's just amazing how, like, as a father, I'm gonna admit to this, and whatever. Maybe there's other guys like this, dad. Like, if I went for lunch with my friends and you were home with the kids, I'd be like, bah, it's all good. Like, I don't need to.
Actually, you're
What?
good at checking in.
Yeah, I check in, but I'm not worried.
Okay.
I'm
Thanks for admitting that.
No, but do you think I am? Why would I be
You have
worried?
no reason to be worried.
That's what I mean.
'Cause I think you trust me enough, and that if there was an issue, I will call and call and
I know.
call until you answer. If you don't answer on the first or second call.
I think it's because obviously, like, you as a mom, you're more home with them regularly.
Right.
So the fact that you got to leave and have lunch with your friends, which I'm so happy you did, and I wish you did more. I wish you did more. Like, I tell you, babe, go get a freaking massage. Go. You're like, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I always hesitate. I
I'm
don't
like,
know why.
why? Just go. I'm
Even
like,
with shopping. I just don't like leaving you with the girls.
but I don't care.
For so long. Leaving you behind with one is one story because I find it's less chaotic. When
Yeah,
they're
but
together,
I'm used
they
to it
tend to
now.
fight so much. And
They do all the
I
time.
do all the time. What am I saying? So I like sometimes when you take one for her activity, I take the other for the activity. It's kind of it's kind of calm and nice, and we get to spend quality time with the
I
child.
get it.
Okay.
But I want you to know, as a mother and as a woman, it's okay for you to, like, let go and go do your thing. I know it's.
Thank you. And
I guess I have trouble understanding the way your brain works, right?
Yeah, a man will never understand.
No, we won't, and that's what I'm trying to
And
understand.
we'll never understand what goes through your head either.
Like, I know.
And how you can just like let go and not have a thought in your mind or not think ahead. Like, for example, the last few nights I haven't really been able to sleep
funny.
well.
I was gonna bring it up. I'm
because
happy
Sia
you did. I'm happy you
kept
did.
me awake. Kept me awake. She woke me up to
She's our
go to the
oldest.
bathroom
Yeah.
and and then once I get her back to bed, I lie back down in bed and I'm like, bing, I'm awake.
It's friggin' 2:30 in the morning, and what were you doing? What were you doing? Tell me.
Thinking about every event that's coming up in the next 2 months. Like Christmas is coming up, my birthday, Maya's birthday, planning a party, and I had all these thoughts in my head about who we need to contact, what I need to reserve, what to order, what to buy.
So
I literally spent 2 hours every night in the last 2 nights.
This makes me laugh because we get up. Was it yesterday morning? I forget when I was home. It was the weekend. It was a Saturday. And you're like, okay, babe. So, like, I was thinking, or was it today? Oh, okay, we're going to get a magician. Who are we going to order? Or what are we going to do for, here are the balloons. And you start showing me Instagram pages of these balloons. I'm like, we just woke up. I've been up for 10 minutes.
You've been up for 10
It's a
minutes,
Sunday
for
morning.
2 hours thinking about all
this
this.
party is 2.5 months away.
Yeah, but I like...
And I'm like, oh my
I
God,
like
you're
planning
stoning
ahead.
me.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm stoning you. I'm always stoning you, apparently. That's why I don't like talking to you about planning events.
But I laugh because you're thinking of every detail. You're like, oh my God, like, what am I gonna get for the Beaumanières? Like, what am I gonna give to all the kids? Do we have enough bouncy castles? Babe, you're gonna kill me. I want to change the bouncy castle. I want to change the color.
colors.
I said, I don't give a shit. You're like, you thought I was gonna get mad at that? I don't care.
Yeah, because you tell me I think too much about the stupidest details.
Yeah, well, you do, but I'm telling you, I don't care. If you really want the pink and not the blue, go for it. I don't give a shit.
Okay, we'll have to think about that. I might change my
Fine.
mind.
And then you're like, should we get the magician? Should we get a face painter? Can we get a face painter? This is like COVID times. I don't know. Can we get a magician? Which magician? I know one that speaks
Oh
Italian.
God, the invitations. Are you gonna make the invitations this week?
Oh, anyway,
Are you?
What?
Gonna make the invitations for her?
You're looking at me.
Yes.
Am I supposed to?
Yes, you said you would do it even today. But obviously you don't have time today.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
See?
all right.
So this is what keeps me up.
But I'm not going to stay up all night and be like, well, what kind of invitation am I going to make? Should it be like Mickey Mouse? Should it be Peppa Pig? What theme am I going to do? Oh my God, I don't know.
And these are things that I think about when I'm alone.
Holy shit. So is this why? Okay, that leads to my next question, which I wanted to say. You need to have alone time, which I feel bad as your husband, especially lately, you going back to work. You're not getting that alone time. I feel bad for you. You're a little different than me. I need my alone time more. You don't as much, I find.
But
You
I
don't.
like it.
You like your drives, I guess.
Oh, my drive. If my drive didn't involve traffic for 45
Then
minutes,
it'd
I
be
would
better.
like it a lot more.
I know, but I feel bad that you don't get that alone time. But then it's funny. When you are alone, all you're doing is planning shit.
Yeah, I'm planning stuff. And when I'm in the car in traffic, I'm making my phone calls. And then...
But that's the thing. So when you're alone, you're calling people.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. See, that's
But
where
not
you
all
and
the
I...
time. Sometimes I just don't feel like talking to anybody
Yeah.
after work. Like, I'm just like, leave
But
me
you-
alone. I've been talking all day.
You make a lot of calls, though, because when I'm alone, I try not to call anybody.
Yeah, of course not.
I'm like, I don't need to talk to anybody. I'm good. Like, leave me alone. But that's what kills me. So, at least you have your drives. You get at least 45 minutes each way
Yeah.
by yourself.
Yeah, half an hour. 45 minutes.
In a way, that's a blessing,
Of
right?
course it is. And then at night after the kids go to sleep, like even if I'm just cleaning or laundry, like I need that downtime.
I think it's important.
And watching TV. That's the part I like the most
Yeah, I
about
know.
our everyday is sitting down and watching TV with you at the
I
end of
just
the day.
wish you had more alone time, and I wish like more moms got
But I
that.
guess I appreciate the alone time that I get because I don't get it as often.
Yeah, I
or
know.
even just like being out with my friends today. Like I really appreciated that, and
Good.
I thought it was well needed and deserved for all four of us.
Good.
So I'm happy that we went ahead and did it.
And don't think that, okay, like just because you did it today means you're only going to do it in 3 months from now.
No, we're already planning for next month.
Okay, good. And I'm not trying to kick you out. I'm just saying it's good.
No, but it's good for you too. Like, look, for you, you'll have what, hockey every Saturday?
Yes, and that's my outlet. And
that's your outlet.
And
yeah,
I get
the
home
gym.
earlier, and I you know, I'm home and no one's here, so I have some luxuries there that maybe a lot of dads don't have. I'm very lucky for
That's
that.
true,
I know
like
that.
your job is very unique. You're
It's
home
weird.
like, early in the day.
I do a lot of stuff from home in the afternoon too. I have my own studio and all that, so I get that time. But I know you don't.
Yeah, I don't. And even when I was home, I never made time for myself.
That's what I'm saying. It's one of the
I was
things
always doing something because it was always
Yes.
a project. There was always something to plan.
But
or even doing grocery shopping or shopping for, let's say, clothes or whatever. It consumes me sometimes. It makes me anxious just
babe,
thinking about it.
that's the thing about you, and I think there's a lot of women, especially in moms in your situation. It's like it's always for everybody else,
Always.
and you're always like, what's next? But you need something to look forward to. That's what I've realized about you.
Yeah.
As soon as you started work again, it's like, okay, babe, so you want to travel next year? Can we travel yet? Where are we going next year? You want to leave in February? Our anniversary's in 5 months. It doesn't matter. Where do you want to go? Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, holy, it's because you need that.
I like having something to
I
look
get
forward
it.
to. And I think after 2 years since this pandemic has hit, our lifestyle has changed quite a bit. Plus, we added another child to our family.
Yeah, exactly.
So we haven't exactly left the city. That's
know.
what dawned on me yesterday. I said, it's 2 years we have not left Montreal.
Mm.
We used to go up north, every once in a while. We've traveled. We've gone to Europe. Even with Sia, when I was pregnant with Maya, we went. But then pandemic hadn't changed everything. So yes, I do now appreciate, the time that I have and the time that we can get as a couple. But I like looking forward to something. I like knowing that there's something booked. Even if it's just booked.
That's your favorite word.
Yes, booked. I booked this, I booked that. You know what? Then I could sleep at the end of at night. And at the end of the day, I feel accomplished that there was another thing checked off my checklist.
Checklist. That's another favorite word of hers.
Okay, well. And the itinerary?
That's another itinerary. We coined that. This one just make
so
me
that's
laugh.
why I like our anniversary's coming up. I just want to know that we're booked and going somewhere.
We will.
But when are you going to book it?
I don't know.
2 weeks before, and then
Don't
you're
worry
gonna be
about
told,
it.
no rooms available. You're going to go on line, you're going to call, and you're going to say, nothing available.
We'll figure it out.
Or it's like 3 times the price, and you're like, no, it's too expensive. Let's do something
babe,
else.
This is why I believe the wind takes you where it's going to take you. What do you get?
I don't like go with the flow, and anyone who knows me knows I don't do that. I like
love
booking
it.
some things ahead of time because then you find yourself at the last minute scrambling, and I don't like that feeling. Then I'm really going to have sleepless nights.
Babe, you're stressing me out just listening to all this in the
Sorry.
last 20 minutes. Like, you're making me somewhat anxious, and I don't get anxious. And you're making me anxious because now you're booking this and planning that. And blah,
But
blah,
then
blah.
once we book something, I'm happy, and then I'll be happy when we go away.
Help
right?
me,
Well,
please.
that's just to go away for our anniversary.
Anyway.
For 2 nights, right? Because it's
Yes.
important to get couple
Yes.
time.
Yes, thank you.
And we appreciate and love any time that we can get together.
Yes.
Even if it's going out for dinner one night.
Yes, please. And this is why we encourage
Couples.
couples to have their time together, but also time alone, so you can get away from all the planning and the booking and the deck and the da, 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 da.
No, but it's so important for
Yes.
the quality of your quality.
Yeah, the quality of your
Quality
relationship and the quality of your
the
life.
quality of your life.
Your mental
quality of
health.
life,
Your
mental health.
100%.
It helps with communicating within the couple. When you find yourself alone, then you can think clearly and talk about what needs to be talked about.
Also, I don't think we need to say this, but I will say it because I've been there. If you're in a relationship where your partner doesn't respect the fact that you want alone time or you want time with your friends, then get the out.
Yeah.
Because I've been there.
The possessive couples, you don't need to be in that type of relationship, toxic
and
relationship.
you need to try to have a couple friends, because if you don't, you feel very trapped. You feel very isolated. I've been there. I don't really want to go too much into it, but it's not fun. It's not fun at all. It just creates a lot of stress when one person doesn't have that same type of life than the other. They don't get it. They don't understand how valuable it is. So I'm done preaching.
Oh boy.
She's giving me a look now. She's like, you never tell me that. What are you talking about?
No, but
What
it's
are you
important
saying?
for couples to allow their partners to have their own alone time.
Yes, because
and to go out with their friends or family or whatever it is that they want to do. We've done a lot of that.
We
actually.
have
Before kids and
Yeah.
with kids.
Yeah, and I'm going to leave it on this, babe, because I think it's a great way to end it. Will Smith, he talks a lot about him and his wife Jada. They've, people said they've had open marriages, and I don't know if that's true or not, but they've talked about how they're at the end of the day, you're still, two doesn't become one. I thought that was interesting. He's
Isn't
like,
that
you don't.
what Spice Girls say?
Yeah, to become one. I need some love like I never needed love before. When you, baby. Nice. Let's get backtrack. Maybe I'll play that on my show. But
I had a little love.
now I'm back for more. Okay, well, we're pretty good. Not bad.
Karaoke podcast.
Okay, sorry, we're going off track.
Sorry.
But what
You
I
said two do not become one.
because what he specifies and he talks about this about how you don't become one person when you get married. Okay, I know maybe you're thinking, well, obviously you don't become one person. No, it's like you're still your own person before you get married, after you get married.
Own
You're still
individual.
So your own person who likes things and needs to do things to satisfy them. That's what he meant. You're two people living. You make a decision to unite and be together, but you're supporting each other and you're living your own life, but you're doing it together. That's what he means, as opposed to this concept sometimes of marriage is that you two become one, and
you got to do everything together.
You got to do everything together.
And you have all the same interests.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You can't live apart from one another.
He elaborated a little more, and I wish I can remember it, but it's so smart. That's why I'm such a big fan of him and what he means. And they've had a lot of issues, that marriage, a lot of problems. But they've but they've somehow, it's a bit different. They're very rich and they're celebrities and all that. But what I think it's the essence of what he's saying is don't forget who you are. You're making the decision to be there by each other's side, but you're not, completely just like
one
a couple,
entity.
just a couple. Anyways, I'm done preaching. I think we're done.
You said that
right
5 minutes ago.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
No,
I'm rambling.
I think bottom line is that we need to make time for ourselves and make time as a couple.
Yeah. Okay, babe. I'm going to kick you out and I'm going to have some alone time. Thanks for listening.
Thank you. You're not kicking me out. I'm not making you dinner then.
Okay, fine. Whatever. I don't care. No, actually, I do care, don't I?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, bye.
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 Bye.